This is where you find out who's got hair on their ass and who doesn't.
It frightened me that a man that I did not know had that kind of interest in my son when he was 8 years old.
The chances are almost the same as winning the real lottery. It's very remote. Unless you buy a ticket, you'll never win.
If anything's going to bring this family down, it's going to be the stress of playing this high level of hockey.
And I'm friends with people who want to be competitive, who want to beat me up, and I don't get beat up.
Canada has the best players in the world, and that's because they have a great system. The degree to which it serves the kids, the parents, and their futures, I think is really open to debate.
It's late August, and 14-year-old Thomas Frazee arrives at the rink at 6 a.m. It's his final season of minor hockey in Vancouver, and for the next 9 months, he'll be grinding out a reputation that will set the course of his hockey career. His every move analyzed and scrutinized, on and off the ice.
So what does it mean to you to be playing on the North Shore Winter Club Bantam AAA team?
It means a lot. I mean, it's a big year for me. It's my Bantam draft, and I'm hoping to go high as I possibly can, and I'm hoping just to get a good year out of it. My goal is to be a step ahead of everyone. I want to train harder than them. I want to skate faster than them. I want to score more than them. That's just simple as that. The WHL is just a league for me. I just really love to play there. Big players, it's top-end hockey for amateur players. And it's only a step below the NHL, so I just really love to play there.
Next May, the hockey dream of all these Bantam players comes down to the Western Hockey League draft. It's a career-defining moment for the best 14 and 15-year-olds in Western Canada and the U.S. Mom and Dad Frazee have redefined their own lives so that Thomas can play for the North Shore Winter Club. That's winning tradition. In their minds, it's the best program to prepare their son for the draft.
I believe that Thomas is a gifted and directed hockey player, and this is his last year, really, his Bantam draft year, and he needs a place where he can train properly, a team where he can be a team member on a team that's an effective team that has equal talent, and where he can also be seen that has high profile, because really that's what it's about this year.
Come on over to the board, guys. Explain what's going to happen.
He came from an environment last year where we were just playing house hockey, and now he's playing against, all the best 14-year-old hockey players in North America. Now he's starting to realize there's a lot of kids out here that are just as big, just as strong, that can skate just as well as me. So for me to be able to succeed and be successful, I have to work harder than them.
This guy here and this guy here are going at the same time. As soon as they finish, this guy here and this guy here...
I'm prepared to do whatever my coach tells me to do. If he wants me to go out there and be a goon, then I guess I'm going to go out there and be a goon. But I'm hoping to be a goal scorer.
I guess we started this little adventure about 7 or 8 years ago.
Going back a lot of years. Wait till you see this other one back here.
Dad, you were so slim. Look at how slim your legs were.
That's a cool looking guy, wasn't I?
Yeah.
We went to minor hockey in North Delta, and we wanted to put him in. Well, we couldn't put him in because he was 5 years old. They said he was too young.
Remember that? That was the first day you went on the ice. You put the number on the back of his helmet.
Well, about day before the tryouts, they phoned us up about 6 o'clock at night, and the lady goes, does Thomas still want to play hockey? And I go, sure he wants to play hockey. And he goes, okay, well, there's a spot available. There's only 2 more spots. He said, Thomas has one of them. Put a number 129 on his helmet and have him come out tomorrow at 4 o'clock to try out. And I go, 4 o'clock? Okay, well, who'll be there at 4 o'clock? I got off the phone, looked at Carol, looked at my oldest daughter, and says, you know what? We don't even have equipment for this kid. well, we got the equipment all at Walmart, and they said, Walmart? You got equipment at Walmart? And we go, well, yeah. This is his very first day. Look at this gear. Look at how I had it. Look how big the helmet is. Look at the shoulder pad. Look at that.
He's even on skates in the living room.
I was putting his number on the back of his head. And then we joined spring hockey. And then I found out this was the wrong equipment that I bought. We're back to the store. We took everything back. The only thing I think we kept was the jock strap. My dad was my first trainer and manager. Now he leaves the coaching to somebody else. He's only 5.
We've been living on credit ever since.
Yeah, we've been living on credit ever since, is right.
A season at the North Shore Winter Club is far too expensive for most families, and for the Frazees, there's been the extra cost of relocating to North Vancouver.
Good morning, Thomas. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Thomas and his dad live in this one-bedroom basement suite. To reduce strain in the marriage, Carol has chosen to remain in their family home.
So how do you like your bachelor pad?
I like it. It's just me and my dad. Except my dad can get annoying sometimes. He can get pretty bad living with just your dad.
To conform to the league's residency rules, Tom and Carol have even gone to the extraordinary length of a legal separation, giving Tom sole custody of their son.
These are the rules set out by the Pacific Coast and BC minor hockey and whatever it is. It seemed they examined everything about him, not just his hockey. We had to have a lawyer take a deposition that they lived there because there was no utility bills. We couldn't be living in the same residence. People were watching us. We had calls about Tom mowing our lawn when he was supposed to be in North Vancouver. You know, why is Tom mowing your lawn? During the summer, it was like we couldn't be seen together. I couldn't answer his telephone. He couldn't answer the house telephone. You felt like prisoners, and that makes it very tense.
You ready?
We do have rows over it because so much is being sacrificed for one individual to try and get a goal.
There's been many times that we've argued over our differing theories. I mean, I can remember times that we would take 2 vehicles to a hockey game because I didn't want to listen to it, and I'm really sure Thomas didn't want to listen to it.
After a while, I really detested the sport. Really, hockey, I thought to myself, if anything's going to bring this family down, it's going to be the stress of playing this high level of hockey.
Even though they live in separate residences, Thomas's hockey routine continues to bring Tom and Carol together every day.
Okay, so I leave, on these days, I leave the school. After school, I have to blast right out of there. And I head on down to pick up Tom from his work. Once I've picked him up, we head over to Thomas's school. From there, we go to the apartment and grab something quick to eat. I got chicken wings and rice. I got meatloaf and mashed potatoes and gravy.
No.
The sandwiches. Ham and turkey. Okay, what do you want? Thomas gets his shorts on because he does a stretch with his trainer.
Hey, Robert.
How are you?
Not bad. Pretty sore from that workout. Way up. Way up.
Front squat. Push. Just keep working. There 4. Big step behind. One more time. Big press. And good.
So that's about 45 minutes to an hour.
After game, it's the protein, but before game, it's the energy booster.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And then after that, we head back home, probably another quick something to eat.
We're having one, whether you like it or not. We're having one.
Give me that. Let's go.
You always feel like you're on your way to somewhere, from somewhere. There's never sort of a relaxed finish to anything. It's a constant state of movement.
The commitment of hockey in a family is incredible. I mean, you are on the road 4 out of the 7 days minimal, and typically it's 5 or 6 out of the 7 that you're traveling from arena to arena or practicing. So, you know, there is a real sacrifice on the family.
David's son John played last year at the North Shore Winter Club and went on to become a top draft pick. The Frazees can learn from families like the Negrins all the ups and downs of a hockey year.
From last year, my expenses in hockey were about $24,000. And I kept track of it with traveling, with extra training, ice times parents had to pitch in for, you know, the fees of the North Shore Winter Club. I would have put a lot more emphasis on John just enjoying the year last year if I could go back, rather than worrying about where he was going to get drafted.
Drayson Bowman is another North Shore grad who owes his parents big time. They moved from Colorado so that Drayson could join the elite program at the North Shore Winter Club.
Help him, Drayson. They'll double team him.
Chasing a 15-year-old's dream has put the rest of their family life on hold.
We built a home, and after living in a very small quarters while we were building, finally got the opportunity to move in and live there approximately 6 weeks before we packed up and left. The first year I was pretty much up by myself in Canada. Mark and I negotiated a deal where he would come on the weekends, so it was a stretch.
When he was a little kid in his high chair, he liked to watch Don Cherry tapes. You know, when he was like 3 years old, he'd watch these, you know, rock'em sock'em hockey, and he just really enjoyed it. And then the first time I actually put him on the ice in a formal deal, you know, the kids would line up to do drills, and some little kid cut in front of me, went up and punched the kid, and I said, that kid's going to be able to play hockey. He knows the thing. He knows the score, you know.
You know, it's hard to imagine that you might have the kid who's actually going to keep progressing. You keep thinking, oh, this year it'll all level out and he'll just kind of be one in the middle of the pack. And each year you just look and go, well, I guess we keep going.
When you go to the North Shore Winter Club, there is this incredible pressure to succeed on the children, and also the parents want it or they wouldn't have put their child there.
Well, just politically, it's a pretty nasty sport. Everyone just gets so caught up in it, when truly it's just 11 kids who are out on the ice just trying to have fun. And when he comes off the ice, like the pressure on the kid, going in the car with the dad getting mad at him, like that's not needed. I think the parents should just leave the kid alone. He knows what he did wrong, and he doesn't need to hear it.
Thomas wants to do it. Thomas likes to do it. Thomas asks to do it. Every parent's responsibility to do what they personally believe is required for their child to succeed as a person.
Some would ask, whose dream is it anyway? Sportscaster Tony Gallagher has an idea about what's really going on.
Gallagher in studio as Canada gets...
It's funny, in Canada, no amount of money spent on hockey is too much, is it? It's just, the kids have to have the best skates, the best of everything, you know, the best instruction. Most of it is all just feeding this industry, which is capitalizing on the parents' desires.
There it is, Mike! Cut!
They have this dream of the NHL dancing in their heads. They all are going to make a fortune playing in the big leagues, as the song goes. You don't have to deliver much. 1 or 2 bodies make it, as they inevitably will. The dream keeps going and business is good.
The Medicine tournament is kind of one of the early ones. It's also the premier tournament for Bantam hockey in Western Canada. It's a tournament the teams, I think, kind of mark on their calendar at the beginning of the year and say, you know what, that's one of their goals, is to play well enough early to get an opportunity to be invited to come here.
Is regardless of what happens out here today, we have to make sure that our work effort exceeds theirs. Okay, this is a good hockey club. This is going to be one of the better tests that we're going to have in the entire year.
I'm competing with the best 90s in Canada and the US, and it's awesome. I am playing a lot better than I was playing last year because the level of competition is just so much higher. Here we go, boys. Come on, let's go.
I'm always nervous about whether the pass goes in or the pass hits a blade, or if it's not a good pass, can he get it from his foot to the stick? And I think it's because when I hear people speak of him, the criticism is a little more personal, so you want less mistakes, less errors.
Good shift. Basically, what parents are trying to do is they're trying to put a large investment in their child from the time that he started skating when he was like 3 or 4, and it's 10 years after the fact, and for the first time there's a pecking order. Well, this investment that I've put in my child, from a financial standpoint, where has it gotten him and where has it gotten us?
Come on, Dusty, make him pay. Come on, get in there. Attaboy.
A lot of times a kid will develop the dream from the parent's dream, and yet you can go to a midget game or to a Bantam game and see who wants to be a player. You can just tell on the ice, and so can the scouts.
He's a big guy. I mean, potentially could be one of those guys to be a power forward. I mean, he's big, he's strong. I would venture to say that probably each team has got 4 guys here, 80 to 100 scouts.
Come on, keep battling.
Come on, boys. Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
I've never seen so many scouts at a hockey game. If you go to a house game, you won't really see, 200 scouts at a hockey game. It's just not going to be like that, so.
I remember Medicine Hat, the whole place is full of scouts, and the scouts are coming up and talking to you, and if you make a mistake on the ice, you're cringing. So,
Come on, get in there.
and if you say it doesn't affect you, you're lying because you want to see your son do well.
Go. Come on, play it smart, come on. Come on, hit him, make him remember you. Attaboy. Come on, battle. Oh, yes.
Thomas was good at times, but we expect a little bit more from him, and we know we're going to get it tomorrow. So.
That was brutal. Not his best game.
I mean, I'll look at Thomas. I'll watch the way he plays. I don't leave here with a sour taste in my mouth. I'm not going to say that I'm doing cartwheels right now.
But boys, we need to have everybody leading us. We can't have guys not paying the price. All the mistakes we made from today, let's just turn them into lessons.
I really like the way you moved the puck. Made some great shots out there.
I didn't even think he was an agent. I was just, hi, my name is Chris Turnbull. It's like, all right, how's it going? Another parent on the team, right? Yeah, I'm an agent. Oh. Hey, how's it going?
Both goals as a result of plays that you made. That's good stuff, okay? Obviously, we're looking for kids who have the potential and the desire to play at the NHL level. We want to help them out. We want to make sure that they're getting the right advice, watch them develop and make sure they're developing, and get them to the point where they're going to make that step to the NHL. You got to start making something happen away from the puck too, okay?
Yeah.
The Western Hockey League guys are going to look at you and they're going to say, is he being lazy or is he thinking? Okay, I can tell you're thinking. I would say that probably 80 to 90% of the kids that we sign make it.
In fact, he saw Thomas play when he was 13. Why would a 13-year-old kid need to have a representative?
Obviously we're here to make sure that anybody we represent makes the NHL, because that's really when we get a paycheck.
Well, it didn't make sense to me. It didn't seem necessary. It seemed kind of weird.
I don't know what the hell that shit's all about. It sort of confuses you after a while because you don't want to talk to people about it because it's sort of uncomfortable. You go, well, my son has a agent. And you go, what the fuck is that? He's only 15 or 14. You go, you know what? I don't know either.
Thank you very much.
Hey, good job, buddy. Keep working. Good luck in the tournament.
Yeah, thank
Win
you.
it, eh?
Amazing.
See what
The
happens.
feeling was awesome.
Okay.
This made me push myself that much further, right? I don't want to get dropped off his list, right? So I just want to keep pushing myself, make sure I get that next level.
Thomas could wind up playing for a junior team in a small town like Kimberley, BC.
And he folds his socks.
1 year out of the North Shore Winter Club, Drayson Bowman finds himself billeted with a family, living far from home. Few 15-year-olds get to taste hockey at this level.
Back in Colorado 10 years ago, I had told Nance if he's ever going to be a hockey player, he's going to have to leave home at 15 because I knew the program. And she's like, oh, that's not going to happen, that's not going to happen. But then lo and behold, that was the one thing I think in life I've been right about so far.
Playing for the Kimberley Dynamiters, 15-year-old Drayson goes head-to-head with players as old as 20.
Everybody in here? Okay, we've dug ourselves a huge hole. You guys have got to bear down, take the shit, and get the puck in the goddamn net. This is where you find out who's got hair on their ass and who doesn't. Little girls do not have hair on their ass. Men do. And you got to go out and play like men. Let's go.
A lot of the guys on the team are very supportive of Drayson because they all had that dream at 14, 15 years old that Drayson has right now. And that dream can come and go really quick with maybe a bad injury that can put you out of it, or a coach that doesn't like you and he turns you off of the game. And if they have something that sends them down the wrong road, it can come to an end.
You know, some of the things, like, for example, drinking, like alcohol, is obviously not what I'm supposed to be doing, and you know, I just look at it like things that could possibly get in the way of where I want to go. So if I look at it that way, it's really not a decision as to, you know, do I have to fit in or do I not. It's like, not if this is going to get in my way.
Well, then, you know, there's a theory, not so much even on hockey, but on parenting. You know, Nance and I have tried to raise our kids to go away, not to stay. I mean, there's some parents that I notice that raise their kids to kind of shelter them and keep them close. We've taken the opposite of trying to raise them to go away. So when they go away, they've got skills life skills to be able to survive and handle whatever comes their way.
One thing that's really important to my wife and I was that John stayed home at 14 and 15 years old. We just felt that family life was still more important than the career.
We've heard stories about kids being shipped off to, you know, parts of the province to play their junior and junior A or junior B or in the dub and stuff like that. I mean, we're not the parents that we love our kids dearly, and we would just love to see them stay right here in the Lower Mainland.
I'm ready to move right now. Because I'm ready. I want to play. I want to play competitive hockey, big time, drop the gloves, have fun hockey.
Off the draw, the guys were yapping each other, and then a fight broke out, and the other guy from the other team came in, and he was going to come try and jump our player, so I dropped my gloves and grabbed him from behind. And then we just started going. And then the two goalies went out of center ice and they started going too. It was good. Yeah. It was fun.
The whole thing starts right now?
I guess.
It's mid-January, a night off to attend the Junior All-Star game held this year in Vancouver. Thomas is here to get a feel for play at the next level.
Sure.
Thomas is also here to meet his idol, Don Cherry.
So you're not big on these kids moving away when they're so young?
Never. No, I don't like kids going away. I just don't. But it's tough to tell a kid and a family, especially a dad, that his son can play junior, and you want to keep him in what we call minor midget. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but there's a famous goaltender who's playing in the National Hockey League now, and it's unfair for me to say, he rushed his kid. He's a goaltender. He's getting hammered. Just getting hammered. And I feel sorry for him. You know, these kids 20 years old are coming on this 15-year-old kid.
Well, I don't know what to say, but before he said anything, I wanted to play junior, but now I'm going to listen to what he has.
Well, I hope to see you there someday.
Thanks
and
a lot.
keep her going.
Okay.
Don't let me discourage you, though. Thumbs up.
Dr. Alexis Peters of the University of Calgary studied the social behavior of elite hockey players in Ontario. Her conclusions aren't what most hockey parents want to hear.
One of the problems that we're doing to children in elite sport is it's very much about conditional love. Children learn from a very young age, people love me if I'm performing. As long as I get the goals, as long as I stop the puck, everybody loves me. What child wouldn't want that? But what are we as adults doing to these young children, these young boys, and is it ethically acceptable? If we've got a culture in elite sport that is possibly contributing to social problems later in life, then we need to look at that. It's not that these 18 and 21 years and 25-year-old boys miraculously appear as hockey players. It starts somewhere.
You know, competitive sports is good, but when do you start the competitive sports? And I think what's happened basically from the draft down is you know, kids are now drafted at 14 years old in hockey. And so it starts 5 years before that. And so when you're in grade 5, 6, or 7 and you're not making that spring team, the first thing that, that comes to a child's mind is, I'm not good enough to play.
But if from 5, your main emphasis is to make these young boys, and young women, we're doing it too now too, into athletes, first and foremost, you neglect lots of other of their human needs. And there is a downside, there is a price to be paid, and we sacrifice a lot. People look at them and say, oh, look at the money and look at this, and that's not true. Very few make a lot of money. Very few make it to the NHL. Very few make it to the NBA. Very few make it.
On the other hand, you can't spend your whole life telling them, you're probably not going to make it, you're probably not going to make it, you're probably not going to make it. It goes back to what Don Cherry discussed the day that maybe he isn't a good ally to have in this circumstance, but instead of telling them nobody does it, you should say, go, try, give it your best shot. Maybe you can do it.
After early season struggles, Thomas's potential is beginning to show. His team won the Western Canadian Championships, and Thomas was selected the most valuable player in the finals. Now it's on to Salmon Arm as one of a select group of all-stars. With the draft only 5 weeks away, they have to make a strong impression, playing the most competitive hockey of their lives.
My teachers told me to tell you that I needed to focus on the task in hand and not...
And what's that?
Playing hockey.
School has to come before hockey. No school, no hockey. We have this discussion from time to time.
Schooling is number one, because if I get injured in hockey, I'll have to have someone to fall back on. So I truly feel that schooling is very important. And it is very tough to keep up my grades with all the hockey I'm playing, but I do the best I can.
What are you actually listening to?
Thomas is not an outstandingly scholarly student, so the times that Thomas loses at school because of hockey, he really has to struggle to make up those times. I think people don't understand the sacrifice that some of these kids make.
If you have somebody who wants to pursue a hockey goal, but you try to make education his priority, then he may not achieve his hockey goal. But my theory is that you can always pick up your education. You can't always pick up your hockey.
You gotta have something to fall back on. School will get you your house, your cars, your family. They have a choice to get a job which they're gonna be able to enjoy.
The best ever tournament has been modeled after a junior hockey road trip, complete with makeshift dorm. The best thing about it? There's no parents. What better way to show kids what hockey's like at the next level? In the next few weeks, Thomas will be taking calls from junior teams in the Western Hockey League.
Yeah.
They won't draft a kid who's even considering the option of playing U.S. college hockey on a scholarship at an NCAA school.
I have no intention at all of playing in college.
You talked about that when we first interviewed you, but we never sort of expanded. Why? Why is that?
Because I just find the WHL much more exciting hockey. I mean, big, there's fights. It's just much more exciting hockey than NCAA, I think.
If you had to choose a route for a young man, would it be the NCAA or would it be the major junior?
Well, I think you're obvious what I'm going to say here is like junior. And a lot of people say, yeah, but you won't get your education. They have education packages now that are unbelievable, and it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. You go down in the States, I talk to a lot of kids, not guaranteed.
I mean, it's great if you've got brains and you want to play finesse hockey, but if you want to play real hockey and really make it, then I would want to play in the dub.
What's he gonna do after 3 or 4 years playing in that high level of hockey? He's gonna forget about it. And to go back to school, I have a funny feeling very few of those kids ever go back.
It's just boom bah down in college hockey if you want to know. This is the way to go junior hockey.
For number 9 in green, this is his last chance to showcase his talent for the Scouts. Thomas has improved considerably since the Medicine Hat tournament, but there's no telling where he'll end up in the draft. One thing is certain, Thomas has made the career-defining decision to forgo the college route in favor of playing in the dub, the WHL.
What is our defense doing? Come on, buddy, let's go. Why are we changing? We had like a fucking 2. That's not our fault.
That right there was a huge miss.
Coach Billy Copeland is here now as a scout for the Kootenay Ice, one of about 200 making their final picks. It's hard for the boys to think of anything but how one wrong move could affect their selection in the upcoming draft.
I'm hoping for like second round, first round. Whoever wants to take me, whoever wants to take a chance, I guess.
If you move away, would your mom come with you?
No. She's not coming with me.
I probably wouldn't move with him, but I also hope that's not a choice that I have to make about a really distant place.
Hey! She wants me to have a good job, live in a big house, which I obviously will. You know, have a good-looking wife, have good-looking kids, not ugly kids. Live in Hawaii.
It's all going to your head.
Make sure none of my kids look like her.
You're dead. You're dead. There you go, there you go. Come on.
fucking right!
Thomas's goal in the shootout punctuates the end of his minor hockey league career. The year has exhausted the Frazees, physically and emotionally. It's been a risky investment of time and money, a gamble of the family itself.
But I can honestly say I can look back at this year and I say I don't regret one single solitary second of it. And I think I also feel more relaxed because I look at my son and I see a kid that had fun, that had a great year, that enjoyed himself, that became more relaxed and happy with the person he was. So no, I don't regret a second, and I do feel better. I feel better about everything.
Just a quick wrap up here. So how does it feel now that this is it? No more Bantam hockey for you?
I'm excited for the next level. That's it. Just really excited to move on.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. I got to grab my purse, bud. Okay. Thomas, hang on. Thomas.
I'll never be able to look at Thomas Frazee or anybody else who was on that hockey team with complete objectivity, just because I understand the sacrifices that they made and just the joy that they gave you making those sacrifices. You're always going to appreciate that. And they know that. I mean, they know that I'm always going to have that special place in my heart for the guys with the red helmets. I'm sad it's over. Because when you experience the success that you do with, a group of individuals and you understand the sacrifices that they make, you just want it to continue because it's such a fantastic feeling.
Thomas, any predictions on your place in the draft?
My number, I will say 23. That's my estimate.
How about you, Carol?
Oh, you guys. I say 12.
I got 23. She's got. All right, let's do it, Mom.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Western Hockey League Bantam Draft. Today is obviously the most important day of the year.
The Frazees have walked the hockey tightrope, taking risks despite the odds. For many families, draft will define success for these young players. Parents attempt to give their kids the best opportunity to succeed, even when it's open to debate just what success really means.
Come on, you guys. It's 7:33.
I'd say the most hectic night of all was probably Sunday. And the phone rang, and it 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 rang. As soon as you hung it up, it rang again. It rang. His cell phone rang and rang and rang. So that's good too.
Oh, Mom, look. I'm kidding. Oh, Mom.
What'd you do?
Nothing, but you're making me just, like, this is why. I kind of didn't
Okay, I
want
won't
you
talk.
standing right here.
Where do you want me to stand?
Right here. It's kind of bugging me, starting to get a little bit pissed off. Playing poker.
Thomas has been up for hours, waiting for the live feed from Calgary, wondering where he'll place in the draft lottery. His mom is worried about him ending up too far from home.
Now I'd like to call on the Regina Pats.
Regina's a very happy select with first pick overall in this year's draft from White Rock, BC. 6'4", 180-pound, right defenseman, Colton Tuber.
Mom, I've been hitting it it's live for once in your life, Mom. Just pretend the computer just, oh, never mind. There you go.
Colton went first. Okay.
Well, obviously. I'm gonna say either Vancouver, Saskatoon, or Red Deer. Put my money on it.
Spokane Chiefs are pleased to select in the first round, first pick, 4th overall.
There we go again.
Oh, Mitch Wall went to
They
Spokane.
took a chance. Oh.
Yeah, big time, because the scuttlebutt was he wanted to play NCAA.
They took a chance on that pass.
But I'm surprised Prince George took someone from Manitoba. That's a long way from home.
Our first pick, we select left winger Jordan Trash from North Battleford, Saskatchewan.
With the 9th selection in the first round, the Vancouver Giants.
Oh, Vancouver, please pick me. I don't expect it though. Maybe Red Deer will pick me. Just as long as I go, I don't mind.
Vancouver Giants select in the first round, 9th overall, from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, left center, James Wright.
What?
They took a guy from Saskatoon.
Saskatoon. Holy cow.
That's a big one.
The 11th selection in the first round, Portland Winterhawks are proud to select from North Vancouver, BC, in the North Shore Winter Club, right center, Thomas Frazee, 6'2", 180 pounds.
I went to Portland.
Oh my God, you went in the first round. I can't believe it. Way to go, bud.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of.
Yes. That's awesome. Hello. Yeah, I know. Isn't that wicked?
Please, it's his wife calling.
Trina, I'm just gonna talk to Dad, okay? But
Thank you.
talk to him. Hey, Dad. I went 10th overall.
11th.
I went to Portland too.
Thomas.
Isn't that awesome, Dad? Hello? Yeah, you talk to him.
Tom? Tom? Are you okay?
Well, they took 4 centers.
Yeah, he went to Portland. You're happy, right? Are you gonna be okay? I'll come down before I go to work, okay? Okay, now don't hurt yourself on those machines. Okay, bye.
Hello?
Thomas, it's Gord Lozelle from the Portland Winterhawks. Not bad, how are you?
Oh, I'm so excited right now. I just can't wait.
What I really liked about you was in the 2 biggest games of the year that I saw you play, I thought you were the best guy on the ice.
Yep, thanks a lot.
We have some real skilled wingers that we want you to play with, and we think it's a perfect fit.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, well, welcome to the Winterhawks.
It's an honor.
All right, thanks, Thomas. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Who's that?
Portland. Get out, I'm naked.
Tell me what they said.
What are you doing? They said it's a perfect fit for them, and I'm going to be playing with very skilled wingers, and that's it. Get out, I got to put my shorts on. If you asked me 9 months ago, Thomas, are you going to go to Portland in the first round, 11th overall? I would have been like, buddy, you're dreaming. I'm dreaming.
You know, I said to him, Thomas, it's like graduating. Congratulations, here's your diploma. Now you're back at the bottom of the pile again. And he said, yeah, I don't want to be one of those guys that gets drafted that nobody ever hears of ever again.
So your dad was pretty emotional?
Yeah, he was crying. He was never really saw that before.
I was choked. Wow. Well, he was pretty happy too. So I had to stop for a few minutes and gather myself.
No other parent would do it for their kids. I love them to death. They're awesome.
You were separated for almost a year now. How does it feel to be back home?
Oh, great. I mean, I'm closer to work. Like about 5 minutes, not even that, 3 minutes away now.
This is my husband, the ultimate romantic. How is it for you now that you're back home? Well, I'm way closer to work.
Hopefully some girls will find out, come over, give me a big hug, you know. Oh, Thomas, your first round draft choice? Yup. You want to come over after school? Yup. How come you never asked me this before? You were never a first round draft pick before. Okay, I'm coming over.
Is that a sign of things to come?
Yup. Yup.